When I started on this challenge, one of the main reasons I chose podcasting and a podcast a day and podcasting in general was the idea of interviewing interesting people, people from all different walks of life at all different levels in their careers that have mastered the specific elements of marketing that I would love to be able to get my head around. And as I get started on week number 3 of this journey, I think that is going to be my focus for this week. Hello there, my name is Paul Heron, and this is the From Zero to Marketing Hero podcast, my personal challenge to create and upload a podcast episode every single day for the next 12 months. And as I mentioned, I'm heading into week number 3, day 15 already. And with so much going on where we've just had our Easter break, I hope everyone's had a fantastic holiday period. I spent the majority of the first week just focusing on getting started. And last week was very much about laying down the blueprint and understanding where I am currently in this marketing journey that I am starting to embark on. But this week's focus really is going to be a follow-on from what I spoke about yesterday. So yesterday was an invitation to anyone out there who thinks they can provide value to the show, to help me along this journey, to reach out, to get involved, and to come on the show and have a chat. And I've been thinking about that more and more over the last few days. It's been fantastic to get started with this podcast and with this journey, but I really do feel that the journey hasn't quite begun in full earnest yet until I get that first guest on board. And I feel so ready. And I just want to say a huge thank you. There's been 5 or 6 people that I've been in conversation with already about the possibility of coming onto the show and having a conversation and sharing their story. So it's great. I feel ready. It's fantastic to have some listeners out there and some other business owners and some other people who have had some success in marketing prepared and ready to come on and have conversations and hopefully provide a wealth of information that we can start to take action on. But I guess in some way that's got me thinking, or coming back to the idea of thinking through the strategy of how I want this to work. But with this particular puzzle piece or this particular challenge or task or action, I want to spend a little bit of time. I want to push the pause button just for a moment, just for a day or two, and come back to the very start of that marketing principles process. I want to just do a little bit of research and development in terms of what I want to get from these interviews and how I want them to fit into the broader marketing plan that I'm trying to put together here. And some of that is going to be known. Some of that's, it's completely unknown at this stage. And I don't know how much research and development is appropriate, but I do want to at least get the basics right of at least coming to these steps and having a look at them before I take that first action. And I think that's what this week is going to be about for me. All of this is just so new. So it is getting the balance right. There's an element of almost just wanting to jump in the deep end, but also just coming back and spending the appropriate amount of time and energy into figuring out what I want this first iteration or this first action step to actually look like. And it will be the very basics. It'll be things like the length of time that I want these interviews to go for. Because I can see myself wanting to get into these deep conversations and potentially these could last an hour and a half easily. But I'm thinking I need to keep coming back to my overall objective. And if my overall objective is to be able to produce and upload a podcast a day, then I need to be a little bit realistic in terms of the time span that I want these interviews to go for. Another consideration will be the takeaways and the lessons that I would like to be able to give to the listeners that are listening to the show, as well as to myself. A big part of this whole journey or journey as a whole for me is to document my process of getting my head around these marketing tactics. So I can't wait to jump in and have interesting conversations with people that have found a way to get systems and processes they can rely on to work for them, to overcome the obstacles involved in just showing up and doing the things that they know are important to take them towards their goals, or anything else valuable that we can tease out of these conversations. I just can't wait. So I want to spend a little bit of time just thinking through what types of preparation I want to do for these conversations that I'll be having, how I want to present them. Do I want to just have an audio podcast version? Would it be of value to find a way to be able to record these sessions and turn them into YouTube videos? And I need to think through the best ways for both me and my guest who comes on to share our stories with our audiences and circle back to my overall objectives as well as my guests' objectives. So there's a lot for me to think about this week. As I mentioned yesterday, if you do listen to this and you think you'd be the perfect guest to come on board and even help me out with some of the basics that I've been talking about today, please reach out. You can contact me through my website is probably the best now. Just over the last few days, I have set up a form where you can enter your details and a little bit of information about who you are and how you think you'd be able to provide value. So contact me through there, reach out through all the normal channels, join the Facebook group and start a conversation in there. But most importantly is if you feel like you've got value to add to this podcast, to this conversation and to this journey, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. So I hope everyone has had a fantastic long weekend. I know I have. I look forward to taking further steps forward on this journey this week and beyond. And I will be back tomorrow with day 16. We'll see you then. Bye for now.